Today I'd like to talk about the benefits of spiritualism, because spirit is really what we all are in the highest sense. The first benefit I'd like to talk about is self-reflection. Getting in touch with your higher self and figuring out what you want to do in this life in order to feel fulfilled. Discovering what brings you peace and true happiness. Learning what you can do for others so that they may also find peace and happiness. Think back to a time when you helped someone who was in a very difficult or helpless situation. It was most likely a good friend of yours. How wonderful did it feel after you managed to help the person out of that dark experience? Probably very similar to a feeling you've had after being saved from a real disaster by one of your own loved ones. Even helping a stranger makes you feel good because it's a genuine, selfless act from the heart. Remember, a stranger is simply a friend that you haven't got to know yet. Looking at yourself deep within enables you to better recognize your own imperfections, which presents an opportunity to feel encouraged to work on them, instead of focusing on what you think is wrong with other people. Nobody can make another person change no matter how hard they try. But by improving ourselves, one bit at a time, we will attract more positivity from others to ourselves. Another benefit of spiritualism is raising your awareness. This can help you learn to avoid getting caught up in negative thoughts or getting distracted by the activities or misfortunes of others. By being aware, your focus is heightened. And the more focused you are, the better you are able to stay on track with your own path in life. And the less likely you will find yourself getting pulled into other people's drama. It's way too easy getting distracted by the circumstances of other people's lives and their behavior. The media is a huge distraction that can preoccupy our minds for hours each day. How much TV do you think you're watching a day? Is it mostly showing positive, helpful material? Or is it usually about accidents, drama, violence, and judgments about other people? That's a lot of mind programming going on, no matter how entertaining it may be. When something has your full attention, your focus is acutely drawn towards it. And that is what you will attract more of to yourself. Be mindful of that as much as possible. Practice being more aware and give your attention to the things that will benefit your soul. If you desire more peace and positivity, focus on anything to do with those and make a habit of steering your attention away from anything that is opposite to what you desire. Always be aware of the thoughts you are holding and practice weeding out the ones that don't serve you. The next benefit of spiritualism I'd like to share with you is practicing natural laws. This is an incredibly powerful and liberating tool that enables one to achieve great things and make huge improvements in their life, especially mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. These are the laws that govern our universe, and they offer tremendous insight as to how we influence our life, both knowingly and unconsciously. Learning to work with them is very empowering, and they enable us to bring a great deal of peace and harmony into our lives, which in turn flows into the lives of those around us. An example is the law of thought. What you think, you are. Since thoughts are things which have yet to manifest, the way we predominantly think affects the outcome of the circumstances we draw into our lives. This happens whether we are aware of it or not. We may be faced with situations that we don't like, but the way in which we handle them has a huge bearing on our spiritual growth, which in turn affects our mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. The universe doesn't judge or care whether any particular thought is good or bad. It simply brings to us what we predominantly think about, day and night. So be mindful of your thoughts throughout the day, as well as when you go to sleep. There are many of these laws in existence, and they all operate with perfect consistency, making no exceptions or deviations for anyone or anything. How we work with them determines how we experience life. The next benefit I have is having a better sense of priority. Understanding what is most important for society as a whole helps us to understand why we are in this world. We are not here solely to accumulate as many material possessions as we can, or live luxurious lifestyles and be served on by others. However, I'm not saying that being financially rich is wrong. What I'm getting at is that although there are many fun experiences to be had and many conveniences that money can buy, there are also important lessons to be learned for the benefit of all humanity. By living more spiritually, we learn how to get in touch with our soul and discover what our Creator wishes for us to accomplish and to learn. There may be billions of individual humans on this planet, but on a higher spiritual level, we are really all one. We are all divine sparks of the whole creation. So it is in our best interest to see each other as extensions of ourselves and to treat others as well as we treat ourselves. If any of us have an abundance of something, shouldn't we share some of that with someone who does not? This goes for anything that could be shared. Materials, food, information, training, transport to places, or simply just some company. We are all extensions of the same thing, and therefore are all equally important. This is easy for us to understand, but not so easy to practice on a consistent basis. What a challenge it can be to share with someone who is not our kind of company. But that is when we need to be keenly aware, so that we can learn to express our most selfless and deepest love for another, regardless of their attitude towards us. And here's one of my all-time favorite lessons, which I found to be a great benefit for me on my spiritual journey, and that is personal responsibility. We all chose to be here in this present time of awareness, and we chose our families, our abilities, and our challenges in order to experience soul growth. We are responsible for how our lives turn out, and, to a very large degree, how much joy or sorrow we experience. We naturally make mistakes, which is okay, but we still have to accept responsibility for them. One action or decision leads to another, which then leads to another. a certain outcome then happens. A situation can stem back from a chain of events that began many years ago, or even further back from a past life. Whatever the situation, whatever the discomfort, there's no benefit in blaming others or ourselves. Just accept responsibility for your feelings about it and respond the best way you can. It's not always about getting rid of something that you perceive as a problem, but rather about how you respond to it. The more you fight something, the more of your energy you give it. Remember, life isn't about avoiding things you don't like or don't agree with. These things appear in your life for a reason. They exist as lessons or signposts for you on your journey in this life. And they are what enables you to succeed and overcome. Success is possible because of our obstacles, not in spite of them. Challenges are there for our spiritual benefit. And if we don't quite succeed or understand something the first time, that's okay. Because life will simply bring to us another opportunity. However, it is in our best interest to learn and deal with our challenges sooner rather than later. Because the more times we avoid them, the more pronounced they present themselves the next time. I hope that these words offer some meaning and heartfelt assistance to all of you. And whenever you need some of that higher guidance, just remember to ask your higher self, who is always ready to help. Thank you for listening and allowing me to share with you this